Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. You guys were expecting to see a video on that economy engine. Ain't gonna happen this week. I don't have the time to dedicate to it to do what it needs. I I might put in a snippet of it. All right, guys. Well, you probably won't see this one here for a little while because I'm gonna be spending however long it takes to spin out a new piston. Um, yeah. All right. Well. But yeah, two reasons. I'm upset with it. Sometimes when you're upset, you have to walk away from a project. Not upset with the engine. I'm upset with myself. And I am upset with the engine because I cracked my mug. So it can set off to the side. Let's do something else. Show you what we got. So this was a Christmas gift. And, well, you can maybe read it. Made in China. I'll probably butcher it, but Taolei, I guess. Make different models of this, but this one here is the electromagnetic piston engine. So, all right, let's tear into it. I'm sure it's not going to be near as cool as the Coil Motor Works engine. And I'll put a link to it right there. Let's tear into this thing. We'll see what we've got. Maybe we can have a running engine by the time we're done with this video. Let's open this box up. I'm not sure if these are still available. I'm sure they are. They don't seem like they're too old. We'll just lay the parts out. Looks like it runs off of a USB cord. That's not a very big engine. Look, my favorite part, instructions. This is going to be great. I'll get my mess cleaned up. I'll get all these parts laid out and get a look at it together. Well, there we go. Our parts are laid out. Let's take a look at our instruction sheet here. I mean, it's pretty basic. Doesn't say a whole heck of a lot. But one thing that is cool is we use a non-viscous lubricant, not a lubricant. So, yes, this will be good. And this is always encouraging when it says the speed slows down or gets stuck. Take the piston, remove the internal impurities. Huh. Fantastic. I guess this doesn't, this will be fun. All right, let's put this little guy together. All right, well, it's a fairly small little model. Let's see by my hand. I mean, it's not a very big little guy. So, I guess, well, these instructions, they leave a whole lot to be desired. We see what the finished model looks like, but yeah, it'll be all right. Hell, let's put it together. We can make it work and figure it out. So this is going to be our power piston. There's our solenoid coil. So when I'm sure that Coil Motor Works can explain this a whole lot better, but when you put power to this, it's an electromagnet, and click, it pulls this back. A lot like power door locks on a car. Well, they used to be like that. I'm sure they're a whole lot better than that now, but that's the way they work. Put power to this and makes a electromagnetic current, pulls that in. So there's our power piston. We know that this goes here. I'm not exactly sure what the point of this is. Just more moving parts. And it looks like this here sits on top of that. I like this. All right. Well, we've got our power piston in, so all right. I guess I'll learn with you guys. We'll start here. If it's wrong, we'll take it back apart and do it again. Kind of an interesting little model. It comes with, all the tools and such. And the way it looks, I've not seen these, so I don't know anything about them, but the way it looks is they make 3 different models: a steam engine, a Stirling engine, and an electric engine. And they're all basically, the same, cut from the same cloth. So that's about what it's going to look like when it's together. All we got to do is put the rest of it together. Right here is our micro switch. So this will be kind of fun. All right, let's see what we got to do next. I'm still not sure what the point of this is, but yeah, we'll get it. Turn it around. We'll start working on this backside. Okay, so by turning this around, I've already saw one problem that I've ran into. This rod goes in between there. So I've got to take this part back off, get that slid in. All right, well, that's going to go there. I'll get this bolted back in. We'll keep moving ahead. Okay, well, this is all put together. I mean, it's all still loose. So we know that this is our power piston. This fits through here. Okay, well, let's see what they've got going on. So what they're planning on doing is, instead of just running a connecting rod from here, they're running it to here, so we have just more motion. That's all this is. And no, there's no spot for attaching anything to it. We've got this one back here, but this reduction wheel up here, we've got nothing to hook to it. So I guess it's all just for looks, guys. But if it runs and it's exciting, why does it matter, right? Okay. Get our piston put back in here. Guess I'm not sure why I'm so obsessed about these pistons. Guess I'm just thinking about that economy engine. A little bit frustrated, but that's nobody's fault. Well, maybe mine, but all right. Well, that piston was threaded, but there are no threads in our adjoining piece down here. But we do have a set screw to hold it together. Again, guys, I'm putting this all together loosely. Nothing's going to be tightened down. We'll just put it together. We're going to check for, function. We can always go back and adjust, tweak, and dial, whatever we need to. So, yeah, I guess I don't fully understand why they've got this the way it is, but they have it the way it is. And this here lives inside of here. Oh, this is going to be our timing. So that'll ride back and forth and push in our little micro switch. Okay, well, before we hook any of our linkage up, we've got to put this belt on. And once again, why this is on here, I really don't know. But it is just more motion. It's reducted, but we can't use the power outcome from it. So, all right. Well, there's that. All right. Well, judging by the looks of this, so far so good. We got to get our short link here. You see that? And takes a couple pins and then a couple of these sleeves. Or just, probably can't even see it. See that? Yeah. That's all they are, and that's what retains these pins, or sleeves. It's what retains these little pins right here. Keeps them from walking back and forth. Doesn't give me a length on them, so this might be a trial and error thing. But the way it looks is, take this little short link, put it in between here with a pin, and then those rubber sleeves on either side to keep it from walking. And the other end goes through here. Same setup. Let me get those in, and I'm guessing that this here is going to go either here or up here. And they're just using this almost as a walking beam to push that back and forth. Let me get this bottom link hooked up. And like I said, all this stuff is still loose, guys. We can move it, adjust everything we need to. So, all right, let me get that hooked up. We'll see what we can find out. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but we've got this link hooked up. And then this one goes through here. And it says in the manual, we have 30 degrees between here and there. So let me get this pin put in, get it lined up back there. And like I said, guys, all this stuff is still loose. All of this can be moved, all it can be adjusted. So we'll get this pin hooked up in here, and then we'll get our main connecting rod, I guess is what we'd say, to this essentially walking beam hooked up. Well, we have our, what I'm calling the walking beam hooked up. So this will be kind of a different little unit, guys. I mean, it's the build quality, it's nice. Is it the best thing out there? Absolutely not. But for the price point, I don't really think that you can beat it. I don't know what it cost. Like I said, this was a gift. And, you never go looking a gift horse in the mouth. So, there. Just a creative and different way of looking at making a mechanism. I'm sure that this here could all be done away with. And, you could just run this directly to there. But it's more moving parts, which is a lot of times neat, unnecessary, but fun. So let's get this thing together. Let's have some fun. We'll run this. Hopefully we'll run this. All right, let me get this pin in. I'll get our rubber bushing, and then we'll spin it around. We'll work on our cam timing. Well, here's the back side of it, guys. And this is where, this rod goes through. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but yeah, that hits our little micro switch up top. So we'll get this pushed back out of the road. And once again, guys, all this stuff is still loose. It does rotate and turn, but we're probably going to have to make a few adjustments just to make sure that, I'm sure this isn't the most powerful engine in the world, so we don't want any more drag than we need. If you guys can hear that, we do have some. We'll get that dialed in. So the way it looks is this rod here we have going into what would be a piston, I suppose, is what you'd want to call it. And there's no room, move this, there's no room to put our retaining rubber on there. So this is going to take a shorter pin. And Here we go. See this little yank here? That just fits. But once it's inside, it's going to be captured. It can't move. It can possibly migrate forward and back and wear on that brass liner, but it's not going to fall out, and we don't have enough stroke for it to, come out the end down here and, catch. So, like I say, guys, the more I look at this, honestly, I like it. It's a fun little engine. It'll be neat to play with. And when I said about the price point, I don't know what they cost. I wouldn't imagine more than $75, $100, right now. But I can't find any information out about them. They do have this on here, so if you guys wanted to check it out. But yeah, just a cool little thing. All right, well, I'm yammering too much. Let me get this thing put back together. Well, there we are, guys. It is assembled. Looks like our timing is probably going to be off, but everything is still loose. So, okay. Well, I'm going to go through here carefully and just kind of try and see what we got to do. Mechanically, I think we're good. So yeah, I can see here when our points hit, we're out of time. But it does seem like it rotates okay. Might be a little bit noisy, but we'll get our belt back up here on the drive where it's supposed to live. Yeah, we can shim this up. Sorry. So all this can be adjusted. Let me get it turned around. You guys can see, this side. There. Not too bad. And the way this motion works, pretty neat. So, all right, guys. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the slap out of this because we got quite a bit. And we're not going to lube it or anything yet. But what I'm going to do is set the timing. So what we want it to do is we know that it's going to pull this piston that direction. So what we want it to do is when this, see right here, as soon as these points close, we want this piston moving that direction. And they're closed and we're going that way, moving out. So, all right. Well, this will be all right, guys. It'll be kind of fun and different. It's always fun to work on something that's, not the normal and not what we've been working on. This is the brake that I've needed and wanted from that economy engine. So now this is where we get to decide which way do we want this engine to run. Because if we want it to run top over this direction, well, hand out of the way, we're way off. But if we want it to run this way, we might just have it. I don't know. I think it's going to run, top forward versus top backward. I'd rather see it run, this direction. That's what I'm used to. So, all right. Well, this is a very, very, very small engine, guys. But let's see what we got right here. So here's our points. Here's our piston. Now it should run top over, in that direction. So, okay. Well, let's get some lubricant. Or lubricant. Sorry, guys. It's not lubricant. It's lubricant. It already rotates freely. Let's get some oil on it. We'll run this thing. Give it a try. Okay, guys. Well, I'm sorry if the lighting is different. I had to turn this overhead light on because I need the power from the ring light so we can use that USB. What I want to do is just go ahead and oil this just a little bit with a very, very, very light machine oil. You can see it. Well, it's just running all over. And it says not to lubricate the power piston. We're going to make a mess out of the rest of it till you watch. Goodness. Good Lord, I made a big mess. All right, well, I guess I don't have to show you guys this, but I'm going to go ahead and oil all this up. Way too big of a can. I'm going to make a mess. Might as well make a good one, right? I'm going to clean it up anyways. Good God. What a mess. All right, before I go to throwing power at this, I'll clean up my mistake here. Then we'll put power to it. Well, I've got my Exxon Valdez oil spill cleaned up. And this is the power supply for this. Usually this isn't anything terribly impressive, but you see that? It has a built-in voltage regulator, which is pretty neat. So, all right. Well, I just unwrapped it. Let me, it plugs in up here at the front. Okay. We're plugged in. I'll show you guys. Sorry about the camera, guys. There's that. Now I'm going to plug this in. We get to run this together. So, all right, it's powered up. Let's see what we've got here. Not sure what any of these mean, but I don't know if this is on or off. Speed control, it's cranked all the way down. Nothing. Let's try it this way. Huh. All right. Let's give her a little bit more juice. Huh. Give her a little bit more. Let it break in. First run, guys. Whole lot of monkey motion. Kind of a neat little engine. I like it. I'll let it run here for a little while. And we'll see if we can make any adjustments. We can always adjust the timing. We can adjust the duration up here. And yeah. All right. Well, guys, I've adjusted pretty much everything I can think of. And I've had it running for about 15 minutes. You guys want to see what this thing will do? Turn the power on. What a cool little engine. Speed control works. It's not the quietest thing. It's not a hit and miss. There we are. Pretty impressive. Neat little engine. I really appreciate it. Thanks, kids. My kids. Christmas gift to me. So, alright guys. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, click there. Subscribe if you wouldn't mind. It helps me. It helps us grow. And, yeah. We'll be back out in the shop. We'll work on something else and we'll see what we can do next. So, once again, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys soon.